It is Sunday, March 11th, 2018. I'm Glenn Rubenstein. This is the Wrestling Inc. podcast, talking about Fastlane 2018 tonight, the last pay-per-view before WrestleMania, the last SmackDown-only pay-per-view. Mr. Matt Morgan, Mr. Raj Giri, here to discuss all things that happened. Matt, start with you, man. What'd you think overall of tonight's pay-per-view?
Better than I anticipated. Slightly, because what I anticipated wasn't much. What I anticipated was a good Bobby Roode versus Orton match, and that was really it, and a very predictable championship match. But I thought the stuff in between did a good job tonight for the most part.
I thought the execution was as good as it could have been of all of this. Raj and I were talking before the show. I just felt that if you've been following the internet, if you've been following this podcast, with the exception of Randy Orton winning tonight and completing his championship collection, everything that happened is exactly what we've been talking about was going to happen, and all the reports have been.
Well, some of it wasn't reports either. Like the Asuka thing was just what I guessed that they would do. But, that wasn't an actual report.
Yeah.
And
that's Raj being phenomenally awesome is basically
yeah. Crystal ball.
That was a good prediction, man.
But yeah, I think the problem with these shows is they are very predictable. But other than that, the action was really good. I thought, the main event was cool. They did some cool stuff.
It was better than what we saw Tuesday.
Yeah, it looks like they're building to a Shane McMahon, Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn match at Mania.
Great.
Yeah, because
I'm fine with that.
Yeah, the Observer last week had said that there were no plans for him, and they were going to be in the Battle Royal. So this is much better than that. So it was a fun show. It was just you missed it. You didn't really miss much other than Asuka.
Yeah.
So let's talk about it segment by segment. Go down the list to talk about what happened. Pre-show saw the Fast and Police with Ty Dillinger defeat Mojo Rawley, Shelton Benjamin, and Chad Gable. It was a fine match. Matt, did you watch the pre-show, Matt? Or did you skip it?
Not paid to watch the pre-show, folks.
Well,
I'm sorry. I would normally watch it. I didn't this week. Sorry.
Yeah, well, they had Ty Dillinger pinning Mojo, so that's not a good sign for Mojo when he's the one taking the pin after with all these guys and all the guys in this match.
Yeah.
Let's talk about the opening match, though, that started the show off. Shinsuke Nakamura versus Rusev. Aiden coming out doing an extended song to the melody of Nakamura's theme about Rusev Day. And, the crowd was into this. Definitely having two hugely over wrestlers who the crowd loves, I think, was a great way to start the show. Matt, what did you think of the match itself?
Good match. I don't know if you guys noticed this or not, but when you start off and you're the opening match, there are certain things you want to start. You want to start with a very slow base of chain wrestling and things like that. And I thought they did a really good job of opening the show without taking things away from the matches later on that night, which has been a lost art in this business for the last 20 years. Of everyone on the card knowing their spot on that card. And I'm not saying in a disrespectful manner, but there's a certain thing you're supposed to be able to put out there, a certain presentation you want to put out there being in the opening match and doing things that are a little bit slower and building a lot slower than the rest of the card. But matches, I should say. Good match. Liked it a lot. But I just wanted to point that out because a lot of times I know that gets overlooked. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I thought it was good, and the crowd was hot to start. They were hot for the pre-show too. A really really good crowd up until this point.
Rusev looked in good shape. If I left that out, he looked in really good shape. He looked even leaner. He looked really good.
Yeah, he hit that awesome Machka kick towards the end, and then that one looked nasty. That was pretty awesome. And then Nakamura winning it after two Kinshasas, one to the back and then one to the front. But I thought it was a fun opener. The one thing, the SmackDown talent pool is kind of shallow as far as depth goes. So these matches all were really long. Like each of these matches were given like 20, 30 minutes. And so this match was a little long, but I thought it built well. And by the end, it didn't feel like it. But there were a few matches on this show that I felt like went way too long.
And for a feud that literally, a rivalry, a face-off that didn't even exist until less than a week ago.
Yeah.
The crowd was very invested. I think we're going to see something similar to this with Nakamura and AJ. Like, no story, just straight. The crowd loves both of these guys and wants to see them go at it.
They've got a video package ready to go from between AJ and Nakamura with the spot in that ladder match.
Yeah.
To a couple of backstage passing bys, over the last month or so. Tonight's backstage, which was good, I thought, as far as they said, they're putting it together. Hey, these guys are going against each other at Mania. At least we have something. You know what I mean? So I think they have enough. In the video packages tonight, I wanted to say, again, outstanding. Tonight's video package.
Oh, they were amazing.
Especially the females package.
So yeah.
Especially the females package. Well, shut up.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think that would be a better way to build Styles versus Nakamura. Would be just a bunch of cool video packages leading up to it, and just just a different kind of build, like just backstage promos and things like that. But I have a feeling that they're going to do the same stuff that they always do when they got two baby faces, where they'll team up and they accidentally mess up and one of them hits the other, and then they're just bickering and doing that. So I have a feeling that's what they're going to do, and I hope I'm wrong.
or horrible cheesy promos of, I just want to know who's the best.
Yeah.
Well, I'll tell you, I think the commentary, forget what they did with Finn Balor, forget what they did with the club. We are going to see more references to New Japan Wrestling in the build-up to AJ and Nakamura, I think, than ever before on WWE from the commentary team.
I wouldn't think that there's going to be that many. I think
there was some tonight.
They're starting to, but
was there?
Yeah.
Just Japan, right? They don't say New Japan.
They never say New Japan. They say Japan, but yes. Yeah. People Google. I think people go and they look at that and they're like, oh.
But it wasn't in the video package, correct?
No.
Yeah, okay.
No, they tend to do it on commentary. Nakamura won that against Rusev. And man, I mean, it started off actually really strong for as shallow as the story with all this in the roster is. Randy Orton versus Bobby Roode, the U.S. title match, immediately followed that. And what'd you think of that match, Matt?
What a hell of a first, I don't know, half. Would we call that the first half after this match, or first a little bit over, less than a half of the show?
It was about third.
Okay, great third of a show. Those two matches were, to my opinion, incredible. And again, what I liked about Bobby and Randy, and I hope they get time against each other again, they left a lot out there. I'm not saying in a negative way, but they left a lot more out there that those two can do together as far as telling stories go. Tonight they told a very basic story of working the abdomen, kept coming back to it. But this is where they lose Bobby, unfortunately. It's not his own fault. It's not his fault at all. But when it comes time for him to start selling in the match, this is where they lose them a little bit. And I don't know if that's them not investing in Bobby as a face enough as the fans go or what. But you could feel it tonight. Some of the energy zonk out of that match, which was great heat, by the way. Great body part to work. Great selling on Bobby's part. Great reaching out to the fans to try to get them behind him by Bobby on the sell. Just didn't work. Once he made his comeback and then they would exchange comebacks and when the false finishes, that's when this match went to a fucking A+, in my opinion. And they killed the last half of this match.
Yeah, I thought they got the crowd by the end. The crowd was really quiet at points earlier in this match, and all I could think of was how much cooler this match would be if Bobby Roode was a heel. You'd have the fans getting into one side over the other. They felt like
and they
didn't want to commit to either guy.
They were going with Orton a little bit more, I thought, than they were Bobby.
Yeah. I mean, they were quiet for Bobby early, for the first 3 quarters of the match. And but it was well worked. It was good. It was technically really good. And the ending was kind of a surprise.
The slow-mo RKO. Yeah, I didn't expect Orton to win by any stretch.
Yeah.
But that RKO in slow-mo, guys, go watch it. Listeners, viewers, after the show, go watch it. It's crazy.
Oh, Roode, beautifully timed that dive.
Yeah. He was going for another blockbuster, and they told a good story. The announcers missed their cue, though. They should have said, hey, Bobby earlier went on and almost got a pinfall with a blockbuster off the second rope. He's going for it all. He's going for the home run here. Top rope blockbuster. Oh, RKO out of nowhere. You know what I mean? They missed a good opportunity to tell that story. I caught it. Bobby going for broke instead of taking it off the second because the second wasn't good enough to win the first time around.
I'll say this, man. I feel like we've been very critical of Randy Orton and his lack of character. I mean, this sort of laissez-faire attitude he has. What a difference it makes tonight when they gave him some stakes and some motivation for a match.
Hey, don't you think also – can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Don't you guys also think, though, like because they're not shoving Orton down people's throats, the fans are appreciating it, I think they're like, Randy, you're a Hall of Famer. We appreciate what you've done. You're a multi-time champion. Cool for you for trying to put over these young guys or work lower down the card, if you will, and not trying to jam down our throats in the main event picture anymore.
Although with Jinder, this being a three-way at Mania, I feel like Jinder, we talk a lot about how SmackDown lost its shine. I think Jinder versus Orton last year was a big part of that, having that the main event of the show and so many pay-per-views. I hope with Roode in the feud that they're able to do something a little more interesting in the build-up to Mania. And good on them for showing restraint and not having Jinder interfere tonight, because I was just waiting for that.
That was what I assumed the finish was going to be, was Jinder interferes, and this was way better.
This is good though, guys. Bobby wins the title at Mania. That's much bigger.
You think they'll do that?
I'm hoping they have to do that for them to pull the title off him tonight. And I didn't like the announcers at the end saying how he failed. You don't say that about a babyface unless you are going for sure with a big win coming up down the road.
Or unless they finally do decide to turn him heel, because he did attack. Right. I mean, he attacked Jinder after Jinder came in. He was going to beat up Orton. Roode came in, gave him Jinder the glorious DDT, and then he went and then laid out Orton again. Which when he laid out Orton, the crowd almost took that like he was like a turn, even though I don't think it was. I think it was just setting up a triple threat.
Right, exactly. Huge. There's no reason for him to pick up Orton, so it was very heelish to do. He was already knocked out. Right.
But I think that would be cool if they went in that direction, because I just feel like Bobby Roode, the fans aren't into him right now, and they should be. He's great in the ring, and he's got the whole package.
He's got everything.
He just needs to be a heel. He's just not a baby face.
And eventually, similar to like what he did with Beer Money, him and Storm, they both just became, as heels, people just started cheering for him because they appreciate how damn good they were. And that's how you make Bobby a face down the road.
Yeah. No, he can be like a Stone Cold type anti-hero. I think that, it works for him to be sort of heelish, but the crowd being on his side. I absolutely think that'll. And his WrestleMania entrance should be amazing if they do something big for it. Man, that theme song, even non-wrestling fans, I know that have heard that or seen that. I mean, everyone thinks that song is so money.
It's cool.
Yeah, definitely good stuff. So they did a promo for Ronda Rousey and Kurt Angle versus Triple H and Stephanie McMahon.
Annoying.
Did you hear they had Ronda redo the line about her opponent at Mania?
No.
They had to re-record it because there was no drum roll, and she just sounded differently. Remember on Raw when the drum roll, she was like, you. But tonight it was like, it's you.
Oh.
See, God forbid. I don't know if you guys got any messages over that. I got messages over that because I thought she stepped on it way too early.
Yeah.
Like, it wasn't ruined. I'm like, I'm not trying to be a jerk about it and say it was ruined. Calm down. But it was ruined. It wasn't what it could have been. It wasn't ruined, but
you missed that big cue, but it doesn't mess up the match or anything. But but it was wrong. Yeah, I mean, the segment fell off right there.
And it wasn't one of those. Well, that was a real moment, so therefore it was good. No. This is when scripted needed to be scripted.
Yeah, they need that moment for that promo video. Did they ever have you do that, Matt? Back in your day, there, like you got to re-record something you said live.
No, hell no.
Yeah, well, with Ronda, they had to get it perfect. I wonder if they maybe just even tried to find existing audio of her from something else saying it.
They would do matches a lot back then, though, right? Like they go retape the match.
Yeah. That was a big thing. Yeah.
How was that? Like going out in front of the crowd?
Never had to do it. I'd rather kill myself. That's that's death. Right. You got to come back through the curtain, and Vince is like, do it again. Like that's happened a lot, and then you try to stay away from it, obviously.
Because what they do is they'd have the guy come back out and be like, "Hey, I want a rematch right now," and then they redo like 2 minutes, and then they would re-edit it all together. But,
it's embarrassing too, just because he didn't like it, it makes you do the whole thing again. I've seen that a bunch.
Yeah, there was a time there where they were doing that a lot. I felt like every SmackDown taping.
Yes.
Every few weeks they were doing it.
Oh, it's harsh. So Becky Lynch and Naomi versus Carmella and Natalya. Again, they sort of threw this together. What do you think of this, Matt, for giving the women the second match?
Guys. Yeah. I like this one. I wasn't expecting anything out of it. I was hoping to fast forward it, kind of a deal. But it was good. I liked it. It was better than I expected. Natty I love her to death, but she's got to stop with the corny. Like right before they made the hot tag, she picked, Natty missed something is what happened. Girl reversed out of like a suplex or something like that to go make the hot tag. Well, right when she did that, she grabbed her and she's like something cheesy like, oh, no, you don't. Or that's it. I've had enough. Like something like just so bad. It took me out of it. Like, stop, Natty. God dang it.
Yeah.
But our girl, what's her name? Sorry, with the young girl.
Becky Lynch?
Carmella.
No, the one with
Carmella?
Carmella. Dude, Carmella continues to shine as a stud in that ring. She's improved so damn much. I'll say it again. Tonight, her aggressive skipped 3 more gears. I thought she was in 5th gear last week when we saw her, and I was like, holy crap, this chick's in 8th gear right now.
Yeah,
like,
she was really aggressive tonight.
Vicious. It works for her. Her look is different. Her outfit is different. They could be doing a lot more with her.
Yeah.
Well, the Money in the Bank cash in, I'm assuming, I don't know, WrestleMania at this point. They had to give her a win tonight to give her some dominance.
I could see her pulling this off, guys, as a champion. I'm being dead serious.
With Asuka?
Well, no, when her time comes. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
She can be a champion, is my opinion. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Well, if they stick to the stip, then it's got to be before June. That's their thing, is you have a year to cash it in.
Right.
So we'll see if they go that route. Because, yeah, you would think that Asuka beat Charlotte. You don't think Charlotte ends the streak at Mania. And if so, I could easily see them troll and have Asuka beat Charlotte, and then Carmella cashes in and beats Asuka and ends the streak.
Oh, dude, if that happened,
Uh-huh.
I mean, I'd be great for Carmella, but like, oh my God, the fans I think would go crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That would be, oh man, there'd be a ton of heat for that.
She could cash in against Alexa or Nia on the Raw side. I mean, that might be.
I don't think.
Well, they better get their shit together to do it, because I can tell you that before Mania.
Right.
Yeah. But them doing it at Payback or Backlash.
She can't just show up on Raw out of the blue with no announcement, right?
Asuka just showed up tonight on SmackDown. I mean,
well, she could choose either champion. So that was part of the thing. They never said that with the Money in the Bank. I think the Money in the Bank was for your own. It wasn't for both, right?
And they color it to the show that you're on. Remember?
Yeah.
Right.
And that must mean something, right? You can't break colors. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
Well, Natalya and Carmella won that. Carmella,
unless they did when they do the Superstar Shakeup and Carmella gets drafted to Raw, she brings the briefcase with her. Then storyline, it makes sense.
There you go.
Yeah.
And who's she beating?
Nia, I guess, or I mean, you would think that Nia is going to beat Alexa now after that angle that they did.
Unless you just got your prediction correct with the Money in the Briefcase gimmick, and she does go to Raw, and then they can have her beat what's her name for it.
Alexa,
not Nia, Alexa.
Yeah.
Yeah. Good.
That's a little bit more. Yeah.
SmackDown tag team title match, the New Day versus the Usos. Many people expected this to steal the show, and it was a hell of a match till the Bludgeon Brothers interfered.
Yeah, it was.
That was a hell of a beatdown, though. I mean,
It was.
It was kind of nasty at times, where it looked like you could really, really hurt somebody with some of the stuff that they were doing.
It just reminded me what a silly gimmick this is, though. I couldn't stop thinking about it.
Yeah.
Like what they're wearing, especially when you have Eric Rowan. Eric Rowan, 6'7.5", 6'8", 3 freaking whatever. I'm guessing 350 at least. Running and doing that sick cross body. I think it was on Big E or someone like that. He crushed the hell out of him.
Yeah.
And this really athletic moves for a big guy, right? It's usually Luke doing it all. So tonight, Harper had a little bit more shine. I thought it looked great. And I kept thinking, why do they have these guys in these things?
Yeah, those outfits they take you out of it. I mean, I think if they just look, if Luke Harper just dressed like Bruce Brody, it'd be way more effective than what they got going on right now.
Throw him in a pair of trunks. He's got big legs too. I remember him wearing trunks in FCW, I believe.
Yeah.
You know, I think that'd be a good call.
Yeah, I think it'd make him look more badass. I think just.
Oh, you mean Harper?
Yeah.
Sorry, I've never seen him in trunks. He's got skinny legs, so he's always worn pants. Even like he had the Diesel look there for a minute. I remember on the Indies.
Oh yeah.
And then he worked his way up to Ring of Honor eventually, and then wore the same thing with the wife beater. But Yeah, that'd be a different look for him. And that gray in his beard works for him. That doesn't make me think he's old.
Yeah, I think it makes him look more crazy. Which
anybody else would look old. I would look old.
Yeah. No, the grays in my beard make me look old.
Same here.
Some other people can pull it off.
Right.
So we had the Bludgeon Brothers come in mid-match. So up until that point, they were like basically trading each other's moves. Like the Usos were doing all the New Day stuff. New Day was doing all Uso stuff. It was different, and that was really fun. Like it was a really fun match. And then the Bludgeon Brothers just came in, and that was the end of it.
You know
really
what sucks?
Beat down.
What sucks about that, you guys, is the match with the way this gets set up, and it still does to this day. I know because I still talk to the guys. Is when they pull all three of those teams together, the first sentence is, "All right, boys." I'm pretending to be Arn Anderson. This is all right, boys. Tonight's story is about these two right here. All right, and here's what we're doing to get them over, and then the match will be built behind that beatdown. Which storyline wise, I get why, but if you're that tag team, you're going, all right. So tonight we're being overshadowed a little bit. Our match, our story. We just got done saying we're the two most important tag teams, on this show's history, in the last 20 years or 10 years. And now we're being put to the back burner again, in a way. You know what I mean? So I was interested to see how if they performed it disheartened. You know what I mean? If I could see it in the work. But you know what? This is their ticket to WrestleMania, right? Hopefully.
Yeah. I mean, this looks like another triple threat. God dang, there's like so many of these right now.
I see why in SmackDown has to happen. There's so many people at the same level.
Yeah, but like even the U.S. title match, I could see them adding a couple more people to that and not have it be a triple threat. I could see them putting Rusev, like throwing Rusev and a couple other guys. They've done that in the past with the IC title at Mania.
Definitely.
By the end, it's like 7 people.
The ladder match, yeah.
Right.
They used to do it to poor friggin' Zach all the time too when he was U.S. champion.
Yeah.
They throw Miz in there out of nowhere. They throw like a bunch like Dolph. They threw like 5 or 6 people in there that had nothing to do with the storyline.
Yeah, and I can see them doing that here, throwing Dolph in there and Rusev and a couple other guys, Baron Corbin.
Hey, I want to ask the listeners a question, and not to distract from the show too much, but what do you all think of Dolph? Do you guys still see Dolph as a guy that could be a main event act when you watch him? Or in tonight's match, was he just like the odd man out as far as your opinion of him, looking like a main event star?
All right, there's a few second delay, so people will start answering in the chat, and I'll read those back.
No, we're still talking until you just let them roll in. Yeah.
Yeah. So they did this. They did this angle where they slammed Xavier Woods on steel steps, and then they sold it later like he had they said something with the spine,
spinal stenosis, something spinal.
It's always spinal stenosis.
Yeah.
Right, and which I think is clearly a work. But I wonder if that means they sit him out until WrestleMania and he comes in as a surprise or something like that. But the way he was,
does it matter?
Yeah, just
spinal contusion.
A lot of people are asking about it, like if it's
if it's real or not.
He did the rapid breathing thing, and we don't see that usually with
right. But if it's real, they'll cut away real quick and they'll bring doctors down, and they don't just keep the camera on him without getting medical attention. So, but he sold it great. I mean, he looked like he was, convulsing or whatever.
Wouldn't be surprised either way, but yeah, I mean, either he sold it fantastically or unfortunately, he actually got hurt. To your question about Ziggler, I actually thought that new look tonight, at first I was like, is he rocking a French braid? But doing that and that sort of faux hawk thing, I actually thought was kind of cool for him. It was different.
I didn't like it, but no, well. I always like the beard and the long hair. I think that makes him look the best. But all right, so here's some of the things that people are saying. Someone's saying he's a wannabe Shawn Michaels. Someone's calling Ziggy job dust. Ziggler is a great wrestler. Has been screwed. I think Dolph deserves a chance. No one is checking for Dolph anymore due to bad booking. Needs a better chance. People are saying he should have left. He needs to stop using the super kick. Just a bunch of stuff. Someone's saying he's a main eventer for now. We'll see a couple months. He's overpaid, but good in the ring. Well, that's if you believe the Sports Illustrated report that he's making $1.5 million a year, then
how they're booking him, I could see that sentence being semi-true. You know, remember, this isn't real. It's not like he's booking himself there on the card. If he could, he'd book himself in the championship match and steal the show.
Yeah.
And earn that money. Yeah,
and I hate the when he always talks about how he's the best, or he because if you're a full, you know, if you're doing fake sports, right? Like if you're like a sports movie, the person who loses all the time is not the best. So in this sport, you don't hear the Cleveland Browns say, "Hey, we performed the best. We did, you know, we had the best looking passes." Right. You know, it's if you lose all the time, you're not the best. He thinks
it's okay to break that fourth wall, although
and talk about more like it's performance art as opposed to it's a sport.
Yeah. And my work rate is the best. My work rate's the best.
Right.
But he's got one face promo, one heel promo. The heel promo is "You people don't deserve me." The face promo is "I just want a shot. I just want that opportunity." And he keeps getting the opportunities, and it just
right in storyline he gets them all the time.
Yeah. What the shame here is they tell you to be a little bit of yourself, but dialed up. They never let him complete this storyline of his. So for him, naturally, he's still getting effed over. So of course that's how he's going to talk. They're telling him to be natural, you know. So it's like they never let him finish this off, so he could discover that next layer to his onion.
Yeah. And they kind of did that with his IC run with The Miz when they brought the Spirit Squad back. But that's the thing. I think they didn't know where to go with it after he won the title, you know?
Yeah, he dropped it like a couple months later, right?
Maybe like six or 8 weeks. I mean, it was fairly short. And The Miz won it back, I believe.
Yeah.
So SmackDown women's match, Ruby Riott versus Charlotte Flair. Of course, the Riott Squad came out, and then Becky and Naomi reappeared to try and face them off. But what'd you think of this match, Matt?
It's almost like they keep setting these 3-on-3 to be a Mania match, right? But yet we know that's not. You know, there's a championship match, you know, with Charlotte and whomever. But I don't know. This is the one match I didn't like as much. I didn't like that much. I thought I would, but I just didn't.
Yeah, I felt like they didn't click. Like it, and it was like I was saying earlier with some of these matches being too long. This was definitely one of them. It felt like it dragged.
Except, and I think don't you guys think it's? I'm sorry. Don't you guys think it's like lazy booking now? Because we've seen it so often over the years, even back to the 80s, where somebody, if they had like a contingent or a stable, like the Heenan family back in the 80s, like they would just look to the back and then like the two people would come out and and beat the crap out of whomever it was and cheat to help them win, that kind of a thing. Like we've seen it so many times that to see somebody just walk out of the back now is just really, that's it. That's what we built to. Like this sucks.
Yeah. I'm sure they'll end this Tuesday and then just start building full on with Charlotte.
I think it did pretty much end here. Yeah. I mean, they'll probably do a 6-woman tag again on Smack, knowing that it's SmackDown.
Yeah, that's how they'll blow it off.
Right, but it's clear now that they're going to Charlotte and Asuka. That's the Mania match.
Although you know, okay, first off, I gotta say there was one moment in this. I love that Ruby brought back the straight jacket holds. We don't see that a lot lately.
Yeah, okay.
And what she was saying there, the look at your friends, they're going to watch you fail. It's like, where is this girl been? Like, she could really be a badass heel if they just let her go full on with it. You know,
she can be different, Raj. He's right. I mean, she can be different.
Yeah, I thought that. I mean, they need to just turn up her viciousness and the severity of it. She's got that look, and it's a harsh look that she has. You can't take your eyes off her. I think just let her go full heel.
Plus, I think she needs to break away from the Riott Squad because they don't have any chemistry. They just look too random together. Yeah.
Yeah.
Liv Morgan, the chick in the Chewbacca boots, the wilderness chick, right?
Yeah, Sarah Logan.
She lives in the friggin' woods, kind of a gimmick, right? Outdoors. I don't know.
Yeah, she's from Kentucky, right?
I must sound like a 60-year-old old wrestler now. Good Lord. I apologize, people. All right, and then you have, what's her name? You know, girl, who's a freak, right? That's her gimmick. You know, they have nothing in common. It's not one of those things where, the sum of all parts are greater than. No, not in this case. They don't work. They don't. The differences in them do not work. Liv Morgan should be so far away from those two. That's not even funny with what her persona is and her character and what she looks like, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, she should probably not be on the same show as Carmella because they've got a lot of overlap in character.
Yes, they do. With once we don't even know that yet with Liv Morgan. They haven't even delved into that enough yet. She's from Jersey and all that.
Yeah.
She's still really green though. I mean, Ruby,
She
I think
is.
Ruby can be a star. She just needs to be away from.
Yeah, she's definitely the star of the three. But I'm not saying like which one's the star of the three. I meant like look wise and character wise. That chick's doing. I don't know. She's doing body shots in New Jersey Shore club. Like that's her persona. Badass chick from Jersey.
Yeah.
Not. You know what I mean? She would
not whatever it is.
These two.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree.
I think Liv Morgan absolutely could be a star if they just package her correctly.
Actually, no. What's her name? Girl's actually greener.
Sarah.
Rose?
The one.
Oh, Mandy.
Yeah.
Tough enough.
No. Well, no. Well, she is, but the other one that we just said within the same group.
Oh, Sarah.
Definitely.
Oh, yeah.
She has less experience. Yeah. She didn't work with indies like she did. For
Yeah.
as long.
Yeah.
And Liv is a performance center. She got in through. She actually used to work at the Hooters that Enzo managed in New Jersey, and he got her an audition to WWE. So she got a couple of years, but I think Liv is coming along really, really well. So after that, the end of that match, Asuka shows up and points to the sign. All that had to be said: Asuka versus Charlotte for the SmackDown Women's Championship at WrestleMania.
It's cool how they did it, and it made it made it feel like a big match. So.
It did. It is a big match. I think a great match.
Yeah, I mean, this is biggest women's singles match that they've had. Right? Can you think of anything bigger for WrestleMania?
Really? That's pretty cool. If so.
Yeah, because Trish and Lita never really squared off at a Mania. Trish and Mickie James did. Right? I don't think Trish and Lita ever did.
How did Trish and Lita never make it to Mania?
I know. Unless someone correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't think, I'm pretty sure they never did. So yeah, I mean, this definitely has a big match feel. So
bigger than Beth Phoenix versus like Natty or someone like that, or maybe she didn't wrestle her. I don't know.
Yeah. The fact that we can't remember.
She had a triple threat. Yeah. Jazz versus Lita versus Trish at WrestleMania 18.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
And then I think it was the next year that they did Trish versus Mickie James, or a couple years later. Anyway, but this is definitely the biggest women's match that probably in WWE history. When you look at it, where it's taking place and how they built the two characters, it's really well.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. The main event, the six-pack challenge for the WWE title: Kevin Owens versus John Cena versus Sami Zayn versus Baron Corbin versus Dolph Ziggler versus AJ Styles. So Raj, what you predicted was going to happen between Sami and Kevin happened. With the little reversal there.
Oh, right, yeah.
This match, man, this was a lot better than what we saw on Tuesday. Shane McMahon getting heavily involved. At one point, pulling Sami off when he had the win, pulling Kevin off when he had the win. AJ retained by pinning KO. Sami and Kevin, it looks like, are broken up. Matt, what did you think of this overall and where the stories go from here?
I still think they have KO and Sami in the same vignettes, just maybe arguing, because they're going to do a three-way against Shane. You know what I mean? I don't know. I just know that they did a good job of putting AJ in jeopardy. His title was in jeopardy. There's no question about it when he got put through that table. And any one of those guys, I kept thinking, could win this match between KO and Sami, I should say, are going to pull this off.
Yeah, my only issue is, man, this is a lot of three ways on this show, or probably more than three ways. They might add more people, but just a lot of multi-person matches that they're teasing right now for Mania. Shane versus KO versus Sami is what it's looking like. Then with the tag titles, you had Usos, Bludgeon Brothers, New Day.
Okay, and what was the other one? Sorry,
the U.S. title, yeah, Orton, Jinder Mahal. Bobby Roode.
Here's my thing with that. If it makes sense and none of these characters suffer and it's storyline driven, I got no problem with it being 5 three-way matches if they all are in order with the story. But like the Bludgeon Brothers, they just popped up.
But usually the story is always the same with these. And it's just the different people in the different matches to square off until WrestleMania, You
could say the same thing about a one-on-one match.
They usually don't give away a one-on-one match before. I mean, they will sometimes.
They take
will sometimes.
What do you mean?
Mash them up and mix tag.
Like they're not going to have Brock and Roman before Mania.
Oh, and you're saying with okay, I'm talking about the three that there's if there's too many three-way matches, I don't think there's such a thing if they make sense within the storylines.
Yeah, I just mean you're going to see like Jimmy Uso versus Luke Harper, then Big E versus you know.
Oh,
like
to get to Mania.
Yeah, like I don't think you don't get the strong storytelling when it's one-on-one. You get the stronger storytelling when it's one-on-one as opposed to when you got the big multi-person. Then they just mix and match up until the event. You don't get real stories in there. A lot of times.
I think Shane, with the Shane McMahon one will be very different because of the dynamic with KO and Sami, so that won't be run of the mill.
That'll probably have Daniel Bryan. Yeah, that should have Daniel Bryan involved somehow. You would think.
You'd think, yeah.
Yeah, it's referee, I guess, or something.
Yeah. That'd be good.
Yeah.
We're going to get a lot of cell phone videos, a lot of cell phone promos with a lot of text on screen in the build up to all of this. Yeah. So you think Undertaker tomorrow night on Raw? Is that the
yeah.
Yes.
So people are asking if it's going to be Tuesday. Cena is pretty much just Raw now. So
I just want to say right now on my report. On my report on my wrestling website, I just broke the news. It'll be Undertaker tomorrow. You heard it here from Matt Morgan first, not Raj Giri. I just stole it. Stole it, Raj.
Damn it, Matt. Yeah. So there it is. Yeah. Undertaker. I don't know if...
So there it is.
There it is. What more can you say? Yep. Undertaker. I don't know if he shows up tomorrow night. They just do the gongs and special effects for now and, and then have him show up later. I think for the maximum effect, you have Cena doing a promo saying how he didn't make it. He's out. Boom. Taker's music hits. Out. You do a face off. They stare at the sign. And you got your what was probably the biggest match on the show.
What a bad sport John Cena is. What a horrible role model. Folks, if you lose and you don't get your way, you can throw a tantrum and knock the cameraman's lens out of your way when he's shooting to try to get your emotion. Horrible example, John Cena. What? So when you lose, you don't get your way. You act like a little bee about it.
Right.
Hey, they'll come out tomorrow and do that. What was it? You said, Roger, you're like the buck up, little trooper. I'll give you a match.
I'll wrestle you, John. So yeah, but that the storyline's silly. I mean, it's clearly
silly
that he can't make it. Into
high art in these storylines.
Yeah,
99% of wrestling storylines are you think you're the best, I'm the best. Let's fight it out.
Right. Well, those make the most sense. Believing that John Cena doesn't have a way to make it to WrestleMania is kind of ridiculous.
Annoying. It's annoying. Yeah. It's taking too long. Right. I want to say I don't care. I don't want you to have a match, John.
Even Cena said that in that interview that was circulating the other day. I think it was with Sports Illustrated, where he was like, "Oh, I think from a character perspective, it would actually be really cool to not have a match for like a year or two, and then come back and say, I think the powers that be though have other ideas."
Yeah.
Okay, John.
Yeah, he's contradicting the whole storyline in that interview, where it's like, "Oh, it'd be good if I wasn't at WrestleMania this year."
Okay, it would be for like a year, like what he said, and he came back with something like new.
Yeah.
It can't be same John Cena.
But I feel like without Cena versus Taker, this year's WrestleMania doesn't have that. You don't have that blockbuster match this year.
You have to, yeah.
I mean, I'm not counting Ronda Rousey and
no,
but nope. Something, AJ and Nakamura is in a different way. But as far as like really getting casuals' attention as well, Cena and Taker.
Yes.
That combined with the Ronda Triple H.
Yeah, then you got it is a really strong card. A lot of people, this happens every year though, around WrestleMania. People are complaining about what the card is, but I feel like this year those matches alone make it really strong.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And Kevin, Sami, and Shane will probably be on the pre-show.
No, Shane won't be on the pre-show. No. Kevin and Sami would be if Shane wasn't involved. But
it's going to be a good match, guys. Too watch.
Yeah, Shane, arguably, him and AJ, granted you have AJ, but that arguably was the best match at last year's WrestleMania.
Wasn't that the opening match of the show?
Yeah,
or that
was, and it was hard to beat for me the rest of that show. Seriously.
Yeah, I agree.
Man, so WrestleMania, we got 4 Raws, 4 SmackDowns, then boom, it's here.
Yeah. Yeah, so should we run down kind of what it looks like real quick?
Sure.
All right, so
tentative card in front of you.
Tentative card, here it is. So obviously you got Brock versus Roman.
They showed the promo for tonight.
Yeah, assuming nothing happens with the John Bravo stuff, and it's been.
Did you watch those updates he released where it was Luther Reigns?
Yeah. Then he later said, "I realized Luther Reigns and Roman Reigns are 2 different people." But I know a lot of people thought like he had mixed up Luther Reigns all this time for Roman Reigns.
Wow.
I don't know. He seems like he's just kind of trolling for attention right now. Now, that being said, the Richard Rodriguez, that whole thing is a real thing. I don't think he's lying or making this up.
When does this come out? I thought it was supposed to be out.
He said it was going to be last week, and it's still not out. So
yeah, just so people understand, it's 2 separate things. So one is the steroid dealer who was busted. John Bravo is a journalist. He wrote for Muscle Sport Mag, a couple other fitness magazines.
Yeah.
He says he has this documentary that he bought the laptop. I don't even know how, if that laptop was evidence. I don't know how he would have got that laptop.
Yeah, the laptop was evidence, and he managed to get the laptop from evidence.
Yeah.
So he's combing through it, going through all these orders and subscriptions and things like that. It says there's 15 former wrestlers or current wrestlers involved. Then he's like tweeting out random pictures and posting stuff on Instagram, which is, I don't know, it just comes across as very unprofessional.
It's pretty, that thing where you posted the picture of Cena. I mean, like, it's
right without saying anything, just
I love a good conspiracy theory and a good rumor, but this is just, I mean, he might as well have a GeoCities website at this point. It's looking pretty not credible, but you never know.
Yeah, we'll have to see. And even if it is, with Reigns, I think the bigger story would be the 14 other people, because Reigns already has been suspended. So unless he's uncovering a bunch of stuff for people that have been suspended in the past already, then that's kind of the bigger story, is what happens if there's other current stars that haven't ever been suspended or anything.
Right.
So anyway, back to the card. Lesnar and Reigns, AJ versus Nakamura, Ronda Rousey and Kurt Angle versus Stephanie McMahon and Triple H, Charlotte versus Asuka, and then we start getting into the triple. We got the Cruiserweight finals, and then we start getting into all the multiple-person matches. So you got the Miz versus Finn Balor versus Seth Rollins right now. It's possible more people could be added there. And then speculation, the U.S. title, Jinder, Bobby Roode, Randy Orton, the tag team with the Usos, New Day, and Bludgeon Brothers, KO, Sami, and Shane. And I think that's it. Andre the Giant Battle Royal, even though they haven't announced it yet. But
Alexa versus Nia.
Oh, yeah, Alexa versus Nia. You're right.
Yeah, I don't know that that Bayley versus Sasha that people have talked about. I don't see that happening on the main card, if that happens at all.
Yeah, that's a ton of matches already.
I see a lot of those matches not being able to get on the card.
Yeah.
There's so many.
Yeah, this is stacked.
And Cena versus Undertaker, of course.
Yeah.
Jeez, there's way too many matches here.
3, 4, 5. So we're at 6 confirmed already, and then all the speculation ones I mentioned, that's another 5. So
yeah,
that's a ton of matches. I think Cena versus Taker is probably going to get a half an hour at least, between entrances and all that stuff. Got a Flow Rida perform a Kid Rock performance, I'm guessing.
Flow Rider.
Take him over Kid Rock, man, especially if it's going to be that goddamn New Orleans song that they keep playing every week.
They make you sick of those WrestleMania theme songs by the time the event comes.
I thought My House was...
What's that?
That's Flow Rida.
Yeah.
Who's the
Welcome
one with
to my house.
There was the one with the female. It was a female singer.
The Wild Ones?
That one didn't get old on me because that was a Daniel Bryan WrestleMania.
What's that?
Right? That's what it feels like.
I'm forgetting.
Oh, no, it was Cena Rock. Never mind.
I want it to be bad American Badass Taker and just bring Limp Bizkit back just for one performance.
And do Rollin'.
Do Rollin', exactly. Or actually, you know what I think? WWE can never go wrong. Remember there were a bunch of pay-per-views where they used Bodies by Drowning Pool as the theme? I think Bodies...
you can never go wrong with that.
Yeah, that should just be the theme for every WWE pay-per-view.
They're too PG. They're too PG for that now. Now they like songs that are fun and, like, hey, bring your family.
They used Cool for the Summer for SummerSlam 3 years ago. Like, a song that's entirely about, like, same-sex experimentation. They were like, that's the SummerSlam theme.
Which song was that?
Demi Lovato's Cool for the Summer.
Yeah, I didn't know that.
Yeah, I didn't know that either.
Yeah, well, because they only played like the little clip of the chorus which says "Cool for the Summer." Like after hearing that, I was like, "Oh, I'm gonna check out the whole song," and I was like, "Okay, this is kind of progressive for the WWE."
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh man. Yeah. So Kid Rock we assume it's happening that he's gonna be the last Hall of Fame.
Well, isn't that New Orleans song? Isn't that Kid Rock?
Yeah, it's Kid Rock.
Fits in.
So. Glenn went, oh, God.
Because he used to be cool, man. I mean, back 30 years ago when he was doing straight hip-hop, he was cool. And then even with the Bawita Boss stuff, like, that was pretty cool.
That's what, yeah.
Yeah, but then he went all country and jazz, and it's like, I don't want to hear that.
He had that one good song with Sheryl Crow, and that's a lot.
That was a nice song.
Yeah. What's that?
Picture,
yeah. That one was good.
Yeah.
He had a couple of good ones. Singing
Not
Sweet Home Alabama all summer long.
The one that samples Warren Zevon?
I guess.
Sure.
It's Werewolves of London. It's Werewolves of London, the piano loop from that. Famous song from the 70s. Yeah.
But it's Sweet Home Alabama is the hook.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, that was okay.
But we digress.
Devil Without a Cause still holds up. I'm just saying.
Yes, it's because he had rap in it. That's why it was better.
Yeah. Rest in peace, Joe C. Oh man. So
you don't know Joe C.
I said, rest in peace, Joe C.
That's still paying respect.
Yeah.
No, he's being
straight off the streets of Taylor, Michigan.
All right, continue, Glenn. Yeah. Cool. Continue.
Yeah, man. So Kid Rock, they're probably going to announce that as the last Hall of Fame inductee for the year.
Yeah.
Interesting mix. So we got other news to talk about. Rich Swann retiring. Raj, what's up with that?
Yeah, Rich Swann. He's kind of having like almost having like a meltdown on Twitter. Just he was despondent about like not getting some bookings over everything that happened. He was arrested, but they never brought charges to him. So, and him and his wife, they're back together. But he was still released, even though WWE, they said it was mutual, but who knows? And so, yeah, he sounded. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Why does he want to retire already? I mean, he'll come back. He's so young.
Yeah, I think he's maybe it's just all the bad pub or what. But yeah,
I even got interviewed on it here in Florida.
Yeah.
Yeah. It made a lot of news.
Yeah, first time, right, in January.
When it first happened, it got a lot of news.
Yeah. We actually ran that. Yeah, it was. So yeah, he says he's retired. He said he was going to retire after all his current bookings, and then he just pulled out of all his bookings. So,
oh wow.
Yeah, so he had a bunch of stuff planned: WrestleMania week, House of Hardcore, some other events. But yeah, I guess he's done.
And what do you mean despondent?
Just kind of like, just down.
He had some depression issues in the past, didn't he? Or am I imagining that?
I don't know.
I don't know. I mean, granted, in all of this, it seems that the charges being dropped, it's like people aren't looking at this, that is proof of innocence. I think a lot of fans online are giving him a very hard time about this. I do not know enough of the facts to have an opinion one way or the other about the matter, but he is not just being welcomed with open arms, it seems like, by the internet wrestling and independent wrestling community.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean, who knows? I mean, there were eyewitnesses, but it never went to trial. We don't know exactly what the eyewitnesses said. So, but him and his wife are together. They're fine. And we weren't there. So,
yeah.
I don't know.
Man, and it's, I mean, Adam Rose kind of had the similar path. Like, he came out and thought it was going to be all good times on the indies. But yeah, it's a tough one to come back from. I think going away for a while probably would not be a bad thing if he wants to try and rehabilitate his image down the line.
Yeah. I mean, people forget about stuff, yeah. So that's about it for that. One thing that's not in the show notes, but Bobby Fish was injured. He suffered a knee injury at a live event over the weekend. So yeah, he was one half of the NXT Tag Team Champions. He underwent surgery yesterday. I'm sorry, it wasn't over the weekend. It was last week. But yeah, it looks like he's going to be out for like 6 months.
Yeah, and that's what they're doing for TakeOver, right? Is they're having Adam Cole sub for him with O'Reilly.
Right. So Adam Cole is subbing for him. And it looks like they're doing so Adam Cole looks like he's booked for 2 matches there right now. We'll see if that changes. Wow. And yeah, I mean this TakeOver card's looking like it'll be really good. It looks like they'll do the Johnny Gargano, Tommaso Ciampa, assuming he's healed up and ready to go by then.
I don't care about either guy, by the way. I know that's horrible. I mean, everyone likes him. I don't care for either one.
Yeah. I don't know. This storyline's really caught fire. I'm into it.
I know. Everybody likes it. Seriously, I know.
Yeah.
And I like that Ciampa isn't one of those heels that's like, oh, I'm a heel on TV, but I'm going to be an okay guy on Twitter. Like, he's a
total prick on Twitter.
Yeah.
It's the best. That was my favorite thing about being a heel, was going on Twitter.
So we got that 6-man match for the new with North American title that NXT is introducing.
Yeah.
Velveteen Dream and EC3 are going to be in that match. Is that correct?
One on one?
No, but I think it's going to be a 6-man ladder match.
EC3 is one of those guys. You remember, Matt, we were talking about last week, guys that are more made for the main roster than NXT. And I kind of get that feeling with EC3. Like, I think he's
okay.
I could see him doing better on the main roster than NXT, but we'll see. But here's my thing: they have the UK Championship already. Why not just use that? Why create another title? Yeah,
I think they think they're stuck in this rut where the UK title has to be a UK guy. I don't know.
It was always weird. I remember,
even though they had Gargano wrestle for it, right? So
right, but they wasn't going to win it. I thought they were going to win it.
I thought it was so strange when like Chris Jericho and guys were like the European champion, and it was like, I was like, is there a story behind this? But then you realize, no, it's just another title.
They should have. That one was an easy one because they were overseas a lot. They should have just had it defended on European tours.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, well, they were planning on doing a show in the UK, but what they could have just done is have somebody win the UK title, some heel, and say, well, I'm not from the UK, so I'm rebranding this the North American Championship. So you still got that title lineage. You're still using it. If something happens in the UK, you have a UK guy win it down the line and change it back to the UK title.
So as of right now, it's going to be Adam Cole versus EC3 versus Killian Dane versus Lars Sullivan versus Ricochet versus Velveteen Dream in a ladder match for the inaugural NXT North American Championship. Triple threat tag team match between the Undisputed Era, which is going to be Adam Cole and Kyle O'Reilly versus the Authors of Pain versus Roderick Strong and Pete Dunne. Ember Moon and Shayna Baszler again for the NXT Women's Championship, and then Andrade Cien Almas versus Aleister Black for the NXT Championship.
That should be really good.
Yeah.
And then also Rey Mysterio, a little Rey Mysterio update. It turns out that it's not looking too bad. It was a grade 1 partial tear of the left bicep. So
triple threat: John Cena versus The Undertaker versus Rey Mysterio at WrestleMania.
Yeah, right. I don't see Rey being at Mania, but yeah, it's not looking bad. So if he's ready to come to WWE, they could easily throw him on the Raw after Mania.
Yeah. And that'd be good. I think it'd be good having Rey back on WWE TV every week.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. So, wow, it's going to be an exciting month.
Yeah. Now we got Fastlane out of the way. That was kind of just a little speed bump, and now it should be a busy month.
Yeah.
Tonight on the WWE Network, going on while we're doing this very podcast, The Last Talking Smack, through Renee Young and Sam Roberts. Daniel Bryan, a.k.a. Sweet Beats, is off at a family function. Could not make it tonight.
Yeah. Someone's asking about Jeff Hardy, so he's been cleared medically, so it's just WWE bringing him back. So I don't know if they're waiting for a story or they have a surprise planned, or they filmed the compound match, so maybe he comes in that. So I think the compound match is airing tomorrow.
Really? Wow.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. If
They
it's
just
not
shot
tomorrow,
that
then next week.
a couple days ago, didn't they?
They're quick with this stuff.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so it could be that's how he comes back. That's what we were speculating last week.
I said it. It says he's going to come up out of the water. Give me my credit.
I said
Matt
he
Morgan
comes back, and then you
reported it on
you
his
explicitly
You said
reported
will he
him
come
through the
back
water.
as Nero. That's all you said, Brother Nero. I said on this compound match it'll happen. He'll come up out of the water.
I'll have to go to the tape. But you did say the water for sure.
Matt, you should just make a website and you should just put on there like 10,000 different predictions of things that could happen. And then we'll say, as Matt Morgan originally predicted on his wrestling news website.
I'm going to make up my own wrestling news site. And I'm just going to print nothing but lies and just see what happens. Seriously, I wonder how many clicks I can get.
Make them really salacious too.
Yeah.
Oh, man. So tomorrow night, Raw. Sure we'll know more about The Undertaker and John Cena then. Maybe we'll get the final deletion tomorrow.
That'd be so cool. I hope so.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we'll be back here right after it ends to talk about it all on the Wrestling Inc. podcast. Before we wrap it up, Matt, anything you want to plug?
Nothing actually tonight. I take that back. Redcon1, REDCON, numeral 1.com. Supplements basically for pre-workouts, post-workout, and intra-workout. Protein, it's called Isotope. The pre-workout is strong as hell, stronger than anything I ever took from 5%, honestly. 5% makes a great product called 5150. Redcon makes one. Redcon 1 makes one that's called Total War. Guys, one scoop of that versus 2 scoops of 5150 from 5%. That's how strong Total War is from Redcon 1. So get that. You guys are always asking me, hey, how do I get in shape? Half the battle is getting your ass off the couch into the gym. By taking a strong pre-workout, guys, you will have that energy to come home from work, eat, and still get back out to the gym. Good
stuff, man. Raj, what do you got dropping on the site?
The James Ellsworth interview should be up soon. Just tons of stuff. It's busy season, so check it out real quick. So this is on WWE.com. The injury to Xavier Woods, thoracic spine injury. Is that right?
Ooh.
So our preliminary diagnosis is multiple thoracic contusions. Explain WWE medical personnel of Woods' injury. We're currently in the process of having him evaluated with X-rays and possibly an MRI for any further damage, such as ruptured discs or fractures of the thoracic spine.
So far contusions, bruises.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah. It's weird. It still seems storyline to me, but we'll know more. Especially because they didn't name the doctor. Whenever it's a real injury, they always have the doctor's name.
Yep.
But you watch that slam on the steps. It looks like he almost hit his head. I mean,
it did.
Yeah.
But when you take a bump, you're supposed to tuck your head. You know what I mean? And so I think that kept him from hitting it.
Yeah.
It looked close.
Yeah. I just think with how long it took for them to focus away from him, and they just kept the camera on him, made it seem like it was work. We'll see.
And why? No offense, he's a friend of mine, but why does that matter if he's there or not? They'll have their 2 other guys.
They're weird with the New Day. Like last year, Xavier Woods had that injury, and when they were moving to SmackDown, they weren't like moving them over until Xavier Woods was completely clear.
Interesting. That's interesting because he wrestles the least amount. If you've ever noticed.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure if he can, if even if it is a legit injury. I agree with you. I don't think that should matter because he could just be in the corner doing the trombone and
right.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, I mean, we'll figure it out, man. It's funny people already. Apparently, we spoiled the takeover card because all that news just came out from the tapings the other night. But it is on the WWE website. They did announce the new title and some of this stuff.
Yeah, I thought I saw them all squaring off with EC3 and them. I thought I saw a picture of that.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's the thing with NXT, man. It's hard to do a show that's taped.
Especially so much in advance. It's, actually, Impact is the worst because you had like the baseball bat thing with Sami Callihan and Eddie Edwards. That happened back in, January and just aired a week or two ago. So, and so it's like you can't. Now everyone's talking about it, even though it actually happened in January. Eddie Edwards is fine now, So, anyway, all right.
Cool, man. So I'm Glenn Rubenstein. Please follow me on Twitter at Glenn Rubenstein, and we'll be back here tomorrow night to talk Monday Night Raw on the Wrestling Inc. podcast. Until then, take care, everyone.